Well, Steve, welcome to Darlington Football Club again. It's here we are halfway through Boost the Budget. But got to say, first of all, belated congratulations for being the manager of the month in April. It was recognition for the Great Escape.
Yeah, always nice to be recognised. Obviously, that that that'll go alongside with Terry and the rest of the staff who worked equally as hard as I did throughout the spell. So it's nice to be acknowledged for it. But obviously, the most important thing was remaining in the league and doing it with a game to go was always handy.
Yeah. But during that spell, Steve, the 4 months you were with us, if the league table had started in January, we would have been top six. So the foundations are there, aren't there, for next season?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I obviously when you're doing your recruitment, the first thing you try to do is secure the players that are already there. And the players that are already there are the players we feel can, take it to the next level. And then obviously that them stats kind of prove that we're on the right track. And then now's the tricky part of trying to add a little bit more to it.
Yeah. I mean, how important was it to you for Jared, Callum, Matty and Ben to all sign new deals there? And then there were the three lads on options, Tom Platt, Toby Lees and Cameron Salkeld. Everybody was very happy to sign with. How important was it for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, you need a good base. I know the lads now. I trust them. That's very important because you need a strong dressing room. You need a good synergy between the players. All these lads have got that. They know each other's games, and as you said earlier, sorry, the points tally since sort of January proves that there's a good side there. So it was important. The only player we've offered a deal to that hasn't signed at the moment and is Jake. So apart from that, the lads have all signed.
The booster budget that we held in January just after you arrived, that played a major part, didn't it, in our survival because that enabled you to bring in Cedric Men, Matty Cornish and Scott Barrow, and they made a big difference.
Yeah, the four lads we brought in made a huge difference. But four players can't achieve what we achieved at the end of the season. It's a squad thing, and everybody played their part that was on the pitch, and they responded to what we tried to do. But it goes without saying, we needed to get up the pitch. We needed to have somebody that could hold the ball up and something a little bit different. Cedric was fantastic when he came in. Matty weighed in and just got better and better because he came into train originally and he wasn't match fit. So his contribution was great. Scotty was just a complete calm and influence at the back, whether he played left back, centre half. And then obviously the goalkeeper was a huge part of it as well.
Yeah, Matty Young, he's going to play at a higher level, isn't he, next season? By the looks of it, we'd love to get him back, but the speculation he's going to a football league club on loan.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think there's a fantastic career in the making there. I think obviously me and Terry have had numerous conversations this summer already, and one of them has been at Sunderland's training ground. First person we saw when we went through the door was Matty, but the reality is, he probably should play higher next year. But never say never in football. You don't know if the right move will come for him. You don't know if we're going to get the players we want. So the good thing about keeping the conversation and the dialogue open is that hopefully we'll have options. And I know Sunderland were grateful at the way we treated Matty and the way that the fans took to him, and hopefully that'll give us an edge when they're looking to send other players out.
We finished last season bottom half of the table, but next season we want to finish much higher, don't we? A minimum top half of the table, but we'd like to be pushing for the playoffs, wouldn't we?
Well, we'd like to be, I'm quite honest when I say that. As I said earlier, I don't quite get why managers play it down. That's not what the fans want to hear. The fans want to hear that we're going to have a genuine go, and that's a reason why we have to be careful with recruitment because we're not trying to put a squad together to just survive this season. We're trying to put a squad together to push up that league and be challenging for those places. So that's why we haven't rushed into anything. And obviously the booster budget is going well. We need but it's difficult when you haven't got a final figure in mind. You don't know what level you can go in at players at. So we've got a base of 11 players which we're really happy with. We're speaking to some current players about the future going forward, and we've got probably 5 or 6 players that we'd almost as a wish list, as where me and Terry think that would be a really good sort of starting point, but we're just in discussions at the moment, so nothing's been decided. It's early really for players as well, because players in general, they'll always try and stay as high as they can, and generally try and get as much money as they can. So lots of discussions, lots of me and Terry had about 3 hours together yesterday, trying to move forward on this. But when we know where we're going to be a little bit with budget wise, then we'll know what we can go in at.
Yeah. The things as well, though, Steve, we've made plenty of inquiries, haven't we, about players. Some of them are available now, but others aren't available until the end of June when the current contracts end. So in some ways, it's a waiting game, isn't it?
It is. A lot of players have said. We'll make a decision end of June. So it's very difficult, because if they're the players you really want, do you gamble on holding on, because there's no guarantee they're going to come to us anyway. So, but we're both very experienced. Me and Terry, I've had both sides of the coin when it comes to summer transfer windows. Like at York, it was pretty easy. We knew what the budget was. It was a good budget. We'd done it really early. At Gateshead, for instance, we started pre-season with only 4 players signed, because obviously the chairman was looking to sell the club. So we had a lot of trialists in pre-season. We ended up getting players like Greg Ollie. So we're going who's probably one of the best midfielders in the National League. And when we left, we were in 8th place. So it can be done both ways. In an ideal world, would you like to get it done early? Yeah, you would, but you don't. Obviously, things come up as well. Players come up that you don't expect, and suddenly you think, well, I wish I'd have hung on. So we're doing as much as we can at the moment without actually getting anything over the line.
Yeah. But isn't this a great effort by the fans, though, Steve? We're touching £100,000 raised in just 3 weeks. The target's 175, which is a strong possibility. It shows how much Darlington fans love the club.
Yeah, you could see that from the minute I walked through the door. You could see, how understanding they were the situation with me and Terry, which was very common for us, because they must have been at that stage, really, really worried about the club's future. So, they were a little bit patient with me and Terry through the couple of games where we're still trying to get things right. You could see the last home game of the season, what it meant to everybody. And you can see where this club can go if we get things in the right direction. And obviously, everybody, the fans and the staff and the players who are going to be at the club next season, we all want the same thing. This is totally unique. Having fans donate into a budget. It's totally unique. It was really. I heard about it when I was at other clubs, and it impressed me then. But when you're actually at the club and you see how much it means to the fans, and it's a complete. It's a complete one-off, and we're so grateful.
Yeah. So let's just hope, Steve, that you can use the funds to great benefit, and you can build us a team to be proud of, and hopefully in the playoffs next season.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I say, that's got to be our aim. It's a difficult task going from where we were last season to jumping up to the playoffs. But as I said when I came in, if I didn't think we could have stayed up last season, then I wouldn't have took it on. If I don't think we could make the top 6 or 7 or 8 this season, I wouldn't say it. So I genuinely think that it's a possibility, but we have to get this recruitment right. And the fans, we're so grateful. Dig as deep as you can, because it's all going to go to your club, and try to get the club back to where it needs to be.